I talked to Jess and she had sent me some stuff to send home with my kids, so.
There's Gina,
That's
it's like I
cool,
got
yeah.
look up for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's
To do it
exciting.
earlier or
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because they're not here.
They usually, and then they'll come back in and
And
take it
then
all
do that.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, like things.
Deanne looks like she's somewhere warm.
She is.
Does Alex usually come to these?
Mm-mm.
I'm pretty willing.
Mm-mm.
Recording in progress.
I mean, we'll go to executive session to pause the recording. Dan, you can hear us good? We're all set?
I don't see it looks like you guys. Really dancing.
Hopefully it's quick. He says, yeah, usually they talk and just. All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order at 5:30 on March 11th for the Arlington School District. The first item on our agenda tonight is board reorganization. So at this time, are there any nominations for the chair of the Arlington School Board?
I nominate Todd Wilkins.
I'll second it. Nomination for Todd Wilkins. Are there any other nominations? Okay, I know that Todd had indicated that he would accept the nomination. So at this time, the nomination for Todd Wilkins as chair of the board, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, so we have Todd Wilkins as board chair. So normally I would turn this over you, Todd, at this time to do vice chair. So I'm going to continue with vice chair. So at this time, are there any nominations for vice chair of the Arlington School Board?
I'll nominate Dan Wood.
Okay, Dan Wood for vice. Are there any other nominations? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of Dan Wood for vice chair of the Arlington School Board, go ahead and indicate in favor by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstaining? All right, so we have Dan Wood as our vice chair of the Arlington School Board. Now I get to hand this over to you. Here is your nominations are in order for clerk. And I'll show you that in a minute too.
Okay, next up is the nominations for the clerk. We have any nominations for clerk?
What does clerk do? Is that the correspondence, I think.
What's that, Terry?
Is it correspondence? Clerk?
With Kendall doing the minutes, there's a very minimal role for the clerk. There hasn't really been much in the way of,
Didn't Jessica do it last year?
I think so. Want to be our clerk?
Sure.
Okay, I'd nominate Terry.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next is nominations for the representatives of the SVSU Board of Directors.
I would like to continue, and Todd said he would as well.
Will you
Okay,
agree?
there's two.
Chelsea, would you do it?
I'll
Oh,
do
good. I really don't want
Okay.
to. Oh, good. I nominate Nicole, Chelsea, and Todd.
Okay, second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So be it. What's this food service?
So this can be done now or at a later time, someone to serve on the policy committee and someone to serve on the food service committee. If there's someone that wants to do that tonight, we can go ahead and write those down. Otherwise, Todd can reach out at a later.
We have a food service person before.
Jess did it. Jess was on the committee.
Anybody want to do the food service?
I'll do the food service.
Nominate Terry. Anybody else? No?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
What was the other one that you need?
Policy.
Policy.
I'll do policies.
I nominate Nicole for policies.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Paul has it. Okay,
That's the part A, authorization to execute contracts. So asking for there to be a motion, with that, that being read or explained. I can explain a little bit more if.
okay. We have a motion to authorize the superintendent or his or her designee to execute on behalf of the school district purchase orders, agreements for consulting services, grant applications, agreements, and other contracts arising affecting the routine operation of Arlington School District. The superintendent or designatee shall not execute any contracts resulting from a public bid process, any employment agreements, and any long-term contracts without express authority of the board.
So what this is explaining is that, there are certain things such as purchase orders, consulting services, grant agreements that are within one school year that we authorize the superintendent or their designee. A lot of times that's Renee Gordon to make agreements on behalf of the school district. Anything that exceeds a year would always come before the board. This is giving permission that a designee can do those things, without everything coming to the board.
Make a motion that we allow the superintendent to go ahead and make these contracts, appointments, et cetera.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So I guess before we do public comments, I wanted to say thank you for Chelsea for volunteer for this terrible position. We appreciate having somebody on the board. A parent is nice. I guess none of us really have grandkids, but no kids, so thank
Welcome.
you for
Yes,
applying. Hopefully you'll last.
she will. She's tough.
Next is public comments. Do you have any public
Hold
comments?
on, sorry. There's the authorization of chair, vice chair of approval of off-cycle warrants.
Okay,
So that would also be a motion.
I will make the motion to authorize the chair and the vice chair to approve off-cycle warrants.
I'll second it.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Then all I'm gonna do is ask for signatures.
That's once we get through the consent
Go
agenda.
We go through.
Hmm?
And you'll do it at that point?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Next up is public comments. Do we have any public comments?
Thank you all for being here.
I have one, from me, it's not from public, thanking the the Arlington voters for approving our budget. And I also heard loud and clear how we really need to tighten our belts, I think this year and next year, because I felt like it could have gone the other way. So I just wanted to thank the voters and say that we'll be trying to watch our spending.
Nothing in the audience, I guess. Next up is a cassette agenda. Everybody,
I would make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
Chelsea, did you get any of this stuff?
I have not received everything
Okay.
yet.
Have you gotten an email address?
No.
Okay, you need to get an email address.
Yeah, I got one welcome email and I had to give her my phone number and my address.
Yeah.
Okay,
But I haven't gotten anything else.
yeah, you should be.
So here am I. Here I am.
That's okay, you're being, that's the important thing.
So on anything like that, then you can abstain from voting because you haven't received the
Abstain.
materials.
Okay.
Yeah.
I seconded it.
Huh?
I seconded it.
Okay,
So
so we'll accept the,
we got to vote.
what's that?
So we have to vote.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. All those in favor, say aye.
I,
I am.
Aye.
Aye. Next up is finance. And it looks like the only thing we got from that is we got a donation from Mac Molden for $650. So it's very nice of them to keep supporting the school like they do.
so technically, I think we need a motion to
Yeah.
accept
Yeah,
the donation from Mac Molding to be designated for the science department to purchase a 3D printer.
all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Oh, no policies. Nothing on operations. X 73 task force request.
That I believe was put on there by Todd, so I think we're gonna have to table that until the next board meeting unless, I don't know if there was anything that was.
Elizabeth has attended a couple of board meetings and the town meeting and had asked the board to consider putting together an Act 73 task force to get input from the community about some of the ways in which the current proposals would impact Arlington and our district. I know Superintendent Payne had done some initial survey work. And the hope was that we could have that survey work feedback. Because really it would need to be outreach to the community with some clear expectations on what we were looking for from a task force. So without Tim and the survey feedback and without Todd, who would really be leading the effort, we're a little limited in what we can do this evening. But I can, as it relates to Act 73, there is a lot of conversation going on and our senators and representatives are very clear about how this will all impact us, and are advocating on our behalf. But in terms of getting community input and community feedback outside of the 2 community forums that we held, I think early on in the process, it would make sense for us to do outreach to the community and get input. There's the House plan versus the Senate plan currently would impact Arlington quite differently. And I think figuring out when those options are in front of us, what the impact could potentially be on our school is one that we would want to seriously understand. You know, the house plan, the way it was drafted, would put basically all of SVSU and then pick up, I forget which towns, they're towns further southeast that would become Reedsboro, yeah, that would become part of our supervisory district. Not a supervisory union. The house plan was all supervisory districts. And I don't know how that works when you have different operating structures.
Especially when they go to different high schools too.
Right.
Closing their elementary school, I read.
Yeah, but they're not, I'm sure they're gonna go to Twin Valley. They're not
Yes, they will.
all the way here, all the way down.
Yeah, no, they'll go to Twin Valley.
But when you've got a map that sort of designates a region.
Yeah.
And you eliminate, essentially you eliminate school choice because schools would have to be designated under that structure. I don't know what that does to North Bennington with their elementary school non-operating. I don't know what that does to Sandgate with their K-12 non-operating. So the house plan is less clear, I would say, for us. The Senate plan puts us in a supervisory union that would include basically SVSU and the BRSU in one governance structure. Supervisory unions allow for different operating models. So I still don't know how that would work with our current structure.
I'll be curious of how it works with the private schools too, high schools.
Yeah.
Well, can you check with Tim and just see what he's found out?
Yeah, I know that there was an initial survey that was done, looking for feedback from the community on what the priorities would be, but I think that was SVSU wide. I think what we would really want to do is something that's Arlington specific. And I don't know if that has been done or not.
Okay, I guess as far as that goes, we're just gonna leave it as it is and Nicole's gonna talk to Tim.
Yep.
We'll have to bring it up at the next meeting.
And Elizabeth, I will stay in touch
Yeah.
with you on your request. Yep.
Next up is the principal report. Deanne, you hear us?
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Great. Just a few things actually that we have done together. So I hosted a bully prevention assembly for students in grades 3 through 6, and we did an addiction, social media kind of addiction performance for grades 7 and 8. At the high school, we held Chinese night, cultures night, which was very well attended. And again, shout out to Lay and Michelle Emery for organizing that. Our Chinese trip plans are well underway. We're just firming up the last minute transportation to JFK. And there are so many things that go into the international trip. I just want to thank even transportation. Rich Letter has done some groundwork for us in getting us there and the best route to get us there. So they're looking forward to the trip. It's in about 3 weeks. We've hooked up with our sponsor school. And so the kids are very excited. We've also had 17, I want to make sure I get the number right. No, we had 24 students in grades 10 through 12 who attended a field trip to Hudson Valley Community College. Students had the opportunity to attend an admissions and college overview, visit and learn about all of their academic and career placement opportunities. They visited auto mechanics, HVAC, electrical, and pre-engineering. And we got some great feedback from Hudson Valley about how attentive our kids were and how excited they were about the programs that they might be offered. We have 3 seniors after the trip who have chosen to apply and 8 underclassmen who are definitely thinking about it at this time. So thank you to Rachel Boisvert and Joanna Lederer Barnes for organizing that trip for the students. I should have started by thanking the voters, as Terry did, for a yes vote. I think, as Terry said, it could have gone either way, and I'm appreciative, as are the staffs in both buildings, of not having to make any additional cuts. And a welcome to Chelsea. Chelsea, usually I offer new board members tours of the buildings. I'm not sure you probably need a tour of either building. You could probably show me things in that building I don't know about. But welcome. If you do have any questions or want a tour, feel free to reach out. For those of you who don't know, Chelsea is the president of the Arlington PTG. So she's well-versed in both buildings and all of its spaces. GISP was very successful this year. I think it was the most students I have had since I started, with multiple opportunities from GNAT, as well as Martha Canfield Library, for students to do on Wednesday afternoons. And so we saw an increase in participation. We have celebrated our 100th day. I feel like I haven't given a report in a few months. And then currently our parent-teacher conferences are being planned, and those will be on March 19th and 20th. And I think that's all I have. We have had some professional development. Actually, I should mention both buildings have completed some Act 1 sessions that are required, some suicide prevention, and some AI compliance over the last GISP days.
Deanne,
That's
just
all I
out of curiosity, when you have a suicide prevention, do you have kids come and talk to the kids here?
No. I think it came out of a conversation and some community happenings. And so we decided it was time for us to have a presentation. So it was done by Emily Grabowski, who just met with the high school and middle school staffs to talk about, prevention and what to do.
I think we're all aware that the child in Burton who unfortunately had to go through that in the family. So it's probably a good thing to have that. The other question I had is on GISP. You said, did it go well for the kids that don't go to GISP? I mean, do you think that worked well too? And the teachers were?
They didn't stay at school. Everybody was released.
Yeah, but a lot of them went to the.
Dating,
And that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, I will add that in this at the end of the year survey to get some feedback. But when we did the survey to complete the program and look at continuing to participate, I think that's when I did the reach out to other areas and trying to see if there would be other opportunities. The other opportunities included Riley Rink. We haven't been to Riley Rink in a few years, and we had enough participation that kids were able to go back and skate.
Good. Any other
Thank you.
questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. So now superintendent's report.
Well, superintendent is on his way back from a well-deserved break. And so he will be back tomorrow. There's just two things that I want to remind the board about is that there is a legislative breakfast on Monday at 8 a.m., which you are invited to attend. It's where we, get a chance to meet with our local legislators and, hear what's going on from their end. And then they can also hear from us. So just a reminder that that's at 8 a.m. on Monday at central office. And then to reiterate what everybody else has already said, really grateful for the voters of Arlington. And in addition to that, I'm also I'm speaking kind of from myself, really grateful for Mr. Payne's work, Renee Gordon's work, Nick Galt's work. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that are looking at numbers and having difficult conversations, board chairs, board members. And so it's not always an easy conversation, but just really grateful for the Arlington community on that. And that is all I have.
Could you ask on when Tim comes back? He had initially outlined kind of a schedule for the monthly meetings and specific topics that he was going to cover.
If you could send that out.
Once we reorganized, and one of the things that has been on my radar is the continuous improvement plan follow-up with Arlington specific data. And I know that he had it all planned out. I just don't remember what he had planned for when.
You're talking about for the board meetings, like topics each month?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, his plan was to have those specific topics and then have that published so that people in the community would know if they have a specific area of interest, which meeting that they would be, you know, geared towards attending. And I do recall that he said that he was working on the district specific data for the continuous improvement plan follow-up, because all we got initially was the SVSU data.
Okay.
Next up is the chair's report, and seeing how Todd's not here, there isn't one. And then the FYI on the budget status report. Who has that?
That usually is possibly included. I don't know if, was it in your packet?
What's that?
FYI, the budget status report?
Yes, it's in the
Yeah,
packet.
it's in the packet.
Yep.
That's just for just so you're aware.
Yeah. Well, I guess next is the executive session. VSA 313A1, labor relations agreement with employees.
Make a motion.
Second.
Vote on it. Everybody,
Oh,
all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Recording stopped.
I know that Tim was talking about doing sort of new board member
would pull on it, you know that. Hi.
Recording in progress.
Here it comes out.
We're out of executive session. 6:20.
Board comes out of the session at 6:18. We have a motion.
I would make a motion to ratify the teacher collective bargaining agreement for 25-27 years.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That carries.
Thanks to everybody for all the hard work.
Yes, thank you.
All done.
Then where's-
You have no words of wisdom to bestow on.
Words of wisdom.
I
Given
make a
my,
motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
Move.
Everyone's in favor.
Bye, Dan.
I survived.
Hmm?
I survived my first meeting.
now you have another.
Don't run into a hole. Fall through here.